All right. Welcome back to the end of the week, family. We hope you've had a great one. I can't believe we're already at the end of talking about leadership. There's still so much to say.
Certainly. We teased it earlier. This cannot be our final episode. We're doing a whole university semester on this. So we will be back at you likely with leadership part 2 down the road. We're talking leadership this week, and one of the organizations we are so proud to be at the helm of is the Neuroencoding Institute.
We got to co-found the Neuroencoding Institute alongside Dr. Joseph McClendon III, amazing world-renowned neuropsychologist and incredible mentor and teacher. If you're at all interested in learning more about what the Neuroencoding Institute does and what it can do for you, please visit neuroencoding.com.
You're enjoying this episode on Angel Fenix Productions Podcast Network. To explore a complete lineup of quality programs and media production services, head on over to angelphoenix.com or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Angel Fenix Productions.
To round out our week here, we want to talk about some leaders that we admire and teachers that we've respected along the way, and just when we've seen leadership demonstrated that we really admire. It's not always, what we've noticed is that we haven't always observed excellent leadership 100% of the time of those that we consider good leaders or developing leaders. And we think that's just important to say, like, no one's perfect all of the time, but we've seen some impressive leaders. We've read about a lot of impressive leaders. And one leader that we know and that we love that's close to us is the leader of Amir, who is our new CEO at the Squeeze In.
Now, back in 2021, we had gotten to a point with the businesses where we had navigated through the worst of the pandemic. Some other entrepreneurial ventures were starting to pop off, and the restaurant really deserved more focused leadership from a professional who could take it to the next level. And so we went on a quest to find a leader who could come in and take Squeeze In to where we knew that it could go. And what we didn't anticipate is that in addition to a leader for Squeeze In, we would find a leader for ourselves.
Oh my gosh, his leadership style is so much less emotionally charged than ours. And we're people who study leadership. If you're listening to this, you probably are too. So there's all these different kinds of spectrums and dimensions, but this is just one that I guess we've been blind to, or that we just haven't been ready to tackle, right? The students weren't ready, but now our teacher has appeared, and he has showed us that serious doesn't necessarily equal emotional intensity. And I think, as I reflect back on why we've been so emotionally intense about things, besides the fact that the pandemic was a freaking wild ride to be restaurant owners in, obviously that was just emotionally triggering on its own, but is because of that, for us, in order for something to be treated seriously, we had to show a high level of emotion about it. And so we've just conditioned ourselves over time now to do that, even with business matters. And Amir is not like that at all.
No, Amir is as cool as a cucumber. The waters of that sea are very calm. And what's nice about that is that we are watching him demonstrate the handling of issues that are the same issues that we had handled in the business, but without the level of emotion that comes into play. Now, there are obviously certain things that will trigger you. Maybe you're a leader of an organization, or maybe you're a leader in the way of being a parent, right? And in order to convey seriousness to your children or to your team or the people that you have, you think to yourself, well, in order for them to know how serious I feel, I have to raise my level of emotion in order to convey that. But it turns out there's a lot more power in staying calm and intaking in those moments than there is in going out on the offense, and oftentimes muddying the situation up.
Well, if we look at the pudding proof, then it's there, because what Amir gets the results without the emotional intensity, and he gets the job done without bringing the level of seriousness to it. And in fact, it's created a much more stable, much more safe and secure environment for the almost 200 associates that work for Squeeze In. And so that's been really helpful for us to then turn to our other business ventures and even our self-leadership, our leadership in our family, and be like, maybe those emotional tendrils could just release a little bit and just relax and retract and come back. It might sound elementary to some of you. Congratulations on having the skill down, but it's been really big for us, a huge win and a huge learn.
Well, a couple of other leaders that we want to bring forward that we've taken a lot of, I think, draw from. Now, two that are kind of in a similar vein for the lessons that they brought forward. One is Michelle Obama. The other is Nelson Mandela. Now, one of the things that I love about from these two leaders' works that's been brought forward is this idea that if somebody brings attack on you, like Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. And that's exactly what Nelson Mandela did when he took back over the country of South Africa, through the apartheid and that coming back. He came and led from a place of love and from a place of servant leadership, even though he had been imprisoned for like the decades, 30 years prior to that, and having to advocate from a prison cell. Now, that is, I think, the really good example of that principle of when they go low, we go high.
Well, the lasting phrase from Michelle Obama that we always like to say is that it's hard to hate up close. And we can hate on leaders and we can hate on others and we can hate on situations from afar. But the closer we get to others, the more we come right back to that root of the leadership definition that we're all trying to embrace here, that relationship-based leadership that influences from a place of integrity. So we hope that this week has been informative and illuminating for you in terms of the subject of leadership. And Kay and I were so glad that you've been tuned in for the new style of the Kay and Shai Show. We hope you liked it. And if you did, we hope you'll reach out and let us know.
We're so glad that you chose to be with us today. And we are just so grateful for the opportunity to fill your ears, fill your minds, and fill your time. And as always, with love from your sisters,
Kay and Shai. Have a great weekend.
This podcast was a production of Angel Phoenix Productions. Explore more episodes of this show or other great shows on the Angel Phoenix Podcast Network by visiting angelphoenix.com. The views expressed in this show do not necessarily represent those of Angel Phoenix Productions or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.